Hello friends, how are you? Hope you are doing well. So let us start our new topic called examples of fines, sanctions, litigations and charges related to ESG issues. So we will take one by one all these examples. Let us first start discussion regarding environmental fines and sanctions. There are multiple examples before also it has happened, like the oil spill cases leading to environmental damage, fine for cheating emission tests, violating environmental standards, fines for, like we can say, environmental violations related to oil spill and leaks, fine for improper handling and disposal of the, let's say, hazardous waste hazardous waste. Also, there can be examples like sanctions for environmental damage caused by the collapse of a tailing dam. Okay, the next is social sanctions and litigations. Like we can take examples of faced litigations over labor practices in overseas factories, including child labor issues, criticized and litigated over labor conditions and worker suicides in the factories. Also, the lawsuits and sanctions related to the workplace harassments and discrimination claims. Also, we can take examples of criticizing for labor practices in warehouses, facing litigation over worker conditions, and some labor laws or worker rights related issues. The next comes governance charges and litigation. The examples can be like litigation and fines for governance failures and unethical sales practices, let's say. Charges for violating regulations related to tweets about taking the company private. Okay, and also for governance issues related to the safety lapses uh, in the equipments or machineries, like fines and sanctions for accounting irregularities and corporate governance failures. Then next is ESG related charges and penalties. So what can be the examples for this? Like bribery and corruption charges, money laundering violations, we can say faced litigation over product safety related issues and misleading market practices. Also, we can talk about the sanctions for violations of the marketing practices. This can be certain examples. Industry specific ESG penalties, like we can say face fines and sanctions over data privacy violations. So for tech companies, this can be the problem. Inadequate data protection measures, also we can say. For financial institutions, like we can say fine for compliance related failure related to anti-corruption measures and customer data protections. Sanctioned for environmental damage and social conflicts related to operations in sensitive areas, like for mining companies, we can say. Okay, the next comes regulatory and compliance related issues. In this, we can take examples of fines for non-compliance with emission standards and waste disposal regulations. Also, like companies fined for violations of labor laws, including wages and hourly regulations. Okay, and next is we can take example notable cases and legal actions, like facing litigation over role in the climate change and misleading public disclosures. Okay, legal challenges over allegations of child labor in supply chains, or we can say legal battles over responsibility and compensation for the gas tragedies, right? So gas release tragedy. Then environmental and social impact litigations. We can talk about certain examples like legal disputes over environmental damage and social impacts of oil and gas operations, or challenges over water extraction practices and impacts on local communities. Then maybe we can have examples of legal challenges over environmental damage and social impacts of oil spills. Then corporate governance related failures. We talk about the corporate governance and accounting frauds, scandals leading to litigation and bankruptcy, governance failures and accounting irregularities, right? And governance and risk management failures also can be certain examples. Ethical practices and corporate responsibility. So the litigation and penalties over deceptive marketing practices and health impacts, legal challenges over misleading marketing and patient safety related issues. Okay, also for sanctions over data privacy breaches and anti-competitive practices and tax evasions also. These can be certain cases. Non-compliance with ESG standards and regulations, like fine for failure in supply chain due diligence, ethical sourcing and social responsibility, legal action over human right abuses and child labors. Okay, and also for unsafe working unsafe working conditions. Okay, companies may be held accountable for industrial accidents, oil spills and contamination related incidents. Also like legal challenges and fines for misleading advertisements, product safety violations, and also customer data breaches also can be one of the examples. So these examples illustrate the diverse range of ESG related challenges companies are facing and can face, also highlighting the importance of the robust governance, ethical practices, and compliance with environmental social regulations to mitigate risk and uphold the corporate responsibility. Thank you very much, friends. Let us start the new topic now.